Hello, hello. Welcome to the Malvern Music Podcast, run by Malvern Music students for Malvern Music students and any others interested in the band and vocals programs here at Malvern Collegiate Institute. With this podcast, we're hoping to provide some informational resources for new and prospective music students by having some former and current members of the department share their experiences, opinions, and overall feelings of what it's like to be in a band or choir at Malvern. We hope that by listening, you'll be able to learn and appreciate not just how wonderful and amazing and incredibly talented all our students and faculty and alumni are, but also the benefits of taking an extracurricular in the arts and why it's so important to be involved and contribute to the school culture. Oh, and also it's just really fun. Now, without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy listening to us kids babble about what life's really like in rooms 302 and 312. Hope you have yourself a nice day, and onward, Malvern. Welcome back to the Malvern Music Podcast. We have two very special guests and Cindy. Love Cindy. But two very special guests. Oh, I got scared. She just looked at me really weirdly. But we have two very special guests. Please introduce yourselves. They're both in grade 11. I'm older than them, and I always hold it against them. But please give us a welcome.
I'm Hubert. I play trumpet in band, and I'm obnoxiously loud.
As all trumpet players are.
Hi, my name is William. I play French horn.
French horn, welcome the two of you. I appreciate you guys being here. I did not force you at all for coming. We're filming right about when the Christmas break is going to be over. Did you guys accomplish much? Were you productive during the break at all? That's a resounding no.
Not really. I mean, every night, pretty much for the past 2 weeks, I just go on a call with my friends and play games till like 2 a.m. So that was fun. But really, nothing.
Will, what was that? You just raised a single finger.
Did you not hear me?
No.
During the break.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me
I just
now?
didn't hear you when you raised your finger.
Oh, as you should during the break.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, Hubert, I noticed you didn't call me. Are we not friends? Is that what you think of our relationship?
Sorry, dude. Just get a game and we'll play Overwatch.
Oh, come on. I get played too often. That's fine. So, from what I hear around these parts, you two both started in beginner band. Is that right? Were you in the same class together?
I didn't take band.
You didn't take band
No.
in grade 9, right?
No. Yeah.
Oh, I guess my information was wrong. So what made you take a band in grade 10, right?
Yeah. Like my friend Ryan, he like just I don't know. He made it sound like band was pretty fun. I don't know. Like I just wanted to try it out, and I already had like a bit of experience in trumpet, so why not?
So you had a bit of experience in trumpet, but you didn't want to take grade 9 band? Is that sort of like an interesting?
I didn't think of grade 9 band at all, like while taking it.
Oh, you didn't take like a Spanish extracurricular, no?
No, I just took arts because I was like, I want to increase my art, like my skills in art and like drawing and stuff. It didn't go that well.
And you're applying for OCAD starting next year.
I forgot art isn't just drawing, and that there's a lot of painting and other things.
And you didn't appreciate that?
No.
Oh, it's okay. But we're happy to have you as one of our only trumpet players in band. We also have Will. Will, you actually hope you took band? Otherwise,
I took beginner band, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it in grade 9. My sister took band from grade 9 to grade 12. And she was in grade 12 the year I took it in grade 9. And she loved it. She loved marching band. She was in it with you, I think, at least 1 year. She was a trumpet like Hubert. So, she convinced me to join it. I've been musical, since a young child.
Whoa, casual flex. Okay. Well, you play French horn and she played trumpet. Was there sort of like...
Yeah, so Miss Norris was my teacher. I'm sure you all know her. All the listeners, I don't know. I'm sure they know her. But she was giving like the presentation on all the instruments you can choose. And I'm a big Harry Potter fan. And like all that stuff, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
John Williams, right?
John Williams.
Like all that stuff.
Composing
Star Wars, Harry Potter. and he likes to use French horns. So when she was playing French horn music, it was such like a mellow sound, such a beautiful sound, and it was like it was Jurassic Park, and I was like, I need to do that. So I put trumpet and French horn on my list, and I
Oh
got
wow, you got French horn.
yeah.
It's a rather not to diss you, uncommon instrument, I'd say. Does it ever get sort of like lonely in concert bands sometimes, or like you wish you sort of made another choice?
In grade 9, there were 2 of us,
Oh
including me,
wow. Hmm.
but in grade 10, I was the only one.
You're
So
the only one. Oh, so you enjoy being special, like you like to show off a
I enjoy being special. Yeah,
little bit.
I get classified with the trumpets a lot.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
So what sort of ensembles are you two in now? What things are you up to in grade 11? What bands can we join? Sort of.
I mean, it's quite limited, right? We don't have a lot going on, so yeah, it's mainly just marching band and jazz band, right? There's really not that much else going on at the moment, and also we can't really join anything else because we're seniors, not juniors.
Oh, we love the optimism. We love the optimism. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer concert band music or jazz band music more?
Well, I like at the moment I just prefer concert band a lot more. I think it's music that I can like not only enjoy more, but also like I'm not very experienced in jazz, which makes sight reading like a lot more difficult, and also like understanding tunes and stuff. There's like a lot more notes and like there's a lot more different notes which require different fingerings as well. I think it's a lot more difficult.
Hmm. What about you, Will?
Yeah, I'm in the same bands as Hubert, and I prefer concert band too because I just joined jazz band like 2 weeks before the winter break started. So I went to 2 meetings. And French horn is not really a jazz instrument, so I've had to kind of relearn, kind of like learn the trumpet. I mean, because you can play multiple instruments if you people didn't know, but so I play trumpet and French horn, but I just find French horn more of up my alley, if you know what I mean.
Of
So
course, of course. For the
it's
students, for the students out there who don't know, what's sort of the main difference in playing French horn and trumpet? Is it more difficult for one or the other?
well, since I played French horn since grade 9 and started trumpet in grade 10, I find French horn much easier. And the biggest transition for me was honestly using the different mouthpiece. Because the French horn mouthpiece is the smallest out of all brass instruments. The trumpet is a fair bit larger.
Hmm.
So when I was trying to play notes, it was just weird to start making the sound. At first, I don't know, it's still hard to kind of grasp the concept.
Would you say that French horn is more difficult than like an average trumpet if you were just to pick up both and try them out yourself?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a common like amongst players that play French horn and trumpet. I think most people find French horn harder. I think it's more based around. I think it's honestly they find playing on a smaller mouthpiece more difficult, or something like trumpets transitioning to French horn, whereas transitioning from French horn to trumpet, it's supposedly much easier. So I guess French horn's harder.
I
French
think you
horn's
also
harder.
talked about like the difference in notes, like because you know how you have to play an F to make it sound like my C. So your notes are always like 4 notes higher than mine, but they still sound the same, right? So then all the notes that you have to play or that are already high will feel like a lot higher and stuff.
I think trumpets have more kind of they can get harder if you play them like more. I don't know,
If you can
more
play well.
challenging, but I think French
I
horns
don't know about that.
play.
That's all right. That's all right.
They're both very difficult to get good at, I think.
Mhm.
Because trumpets so much you can play so many more higher notes, right?
And for those that are really bad at transposing, when Hubert's talking about my C to your F, basically all instruments or most instruments are tuned to a certain pitch. And so usually when we're in rehearsal and we all want to play the same note together, we play what is called a concert B flat. And for trumpets and tenor saxes, clarinets, I believe that's everybody, they would be playing C when asked to play a B flat, concert B flat. And for, I believe it's French horns, tuba, uh, trombones, right? Am I missing anything there? And flutes as well, right? Will doesn't really know either. But typically, I believe they only play an F instead of a C. So yeah, that's some music knowledge for you.
I'm pretty sure flute just plays B flat, right?
Oh, flute plays B flat? Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Tuba and trombone are also B flat.
Yeah.
oh. Well, I guess I failed that music theory part of grade 11 history, but that's fine. What's been one of your favorite memories at Malvern Music? What's something that you can look back on and you're like, wow, really happy that I joined band in order to do this? We can start with Will. Hubert took the last one.
Start. So I joined marching band in grade 10, which is a year early to what most people join, because senior concert bands normally grade 11s and 12s, but I joined in grade 10. I think Hubert did too.
Yeah.
So well, I know Hubert did too. But so we were able to go on the parades with all the seniors, and I honestly, that was probably the best part. We did 3 parades in one day, and it was awesome, like walking around, playing your instruments that you have to memorize the music for,
In
and
the
just
freezing cold.
saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It's just a great time.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. That day was very memorable, and it's by far one of my best memories.
Mhm.
Also, because like up until this point, I really haven't have any experience like performing on stage at all, like ever. So being able to like go on the streets and like play in front of many people was an amazing sight. And not only that, but like it was really fun to like just go around to different cities and then like see different things. And like in between the parades, we got breaks and we got to just like hang around and rest. It was just a really fun day.
I will say though, our band teacher, hopefully he's still the band teacher by around the time like other people are watching this podcast, hopefully. Not the most organized. I remember showing up that day. And I believe it was the coach bus we were waiting for that time, showed up like an hour late. And so we were all kind of freezing and gathered around in a portable. But I do think it makes for some great bonding experiences. I really enjoyed the bus ride and sort of being around other people. We didn't really talk much actually in grade 10 when I was in grade 11. But I think band itself is a really good social outlet to sort of like engage and talk to people. Were you scared of the seniors at all? Or was that sort of a thing or like in your mentality when you were joining a senior ensemble as a junior?
Initially, I was or like I wasn't really scared of it, but like I was just rather avoiding it, like avoiding the seniors, because I don't know, like I'd rather just talk to Will most of the time. But like when I got more comfortable and like used to a band, I just kind of talked randomly to people in the moment, and then yeah.
I was gonna say, are we that scary? I don't kind of hurt by that, but that's fine.
And for me, at first, I joined the first week. I joined starting as everyone else started, and Hubert joined a bit later than I did. He joined, I don't remember when he joined, but it was a couple weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like me and like, I don't know, a couple other, like 3 or 4 other grade 10s. And I remember not having like Hubert to talk to, and I was a little out of my comfort zone, but once you get to know them, they're not scary.
I would hope for the most part, yeah, we're not scary. How do you think being in band has impacted your social life at all, or sort of like how you, I guess not even just like for the people in band, but do you think it's impacted any other areas in terms of how you interact with people, or how much more you're engaging, or even less engaging?
I'm not sure, because it's definitely impacted me in one way, but I really don't know how. Because I've definitely become like more social, and like I'm more used to just like talking more and like just like being the first one to like start a conversation and stuff, right? But then it's up until that point where I'm just like, oh, I'm in a conversation, but I have no idea what to say, kind of thing. But it's definitely changed me. Like it's a lot easier to make friends now and like just talk to new people, work with them.
For me, I think it's helped me be more socialite, for sure. I definitely agree with. I remember when Hubert and I were in grade 10 last year, we did some during the winter break, so around the same time last year. A couple of the grade 12s, 11s invited Hubert and I and I think some other grade 10s to go skating. And I remember doing that. So you can do stuff outside of band that comes from being in band. So it definitely helps your social life.
That's interesting. I don't think I was invited to that grade. You said 11s and 12s? Wait, I'm kind of hurt. Hold on. What was that? Wait.
But you just didn't come.
Wait. Oh, did I not come? Oh, okay.
No,
No,
like
no.
I feel like you were definitely invited, but you just didn't come.
Had
I
to be-
probably found out you guys were going, so I'm just like, maybe I can find a way to back out of this one.
Yeah, you probably were scared of the grade 10s, right?
I was scared of the grade 10s. I don't know. Personally, I found it myself because I was in the jazz program and jazz program and repertoire when I was in grade 10 as well. And my biggest fear, because I play tenor sax, which is relatively on the intake that we had that year, there weren't a lot of people playing. And for jazz, I was given the baritone sax, which is kind of like if you're one of the rising stars, I guess, and you're sort of the saxophone that's out of the loop of the seniors, you're given baritone sax just as like sort of scapegoating because no one else wants to play the part. But I found I was really, really scared to sort of interact, and I didn't want to step out of line. Every time we were called on to play, I would always like freak out because I'm like, oh God, I can't mess up in front of the seniors. But I noticed around the middle of the year, it did take a while, but that's just like my personal introvertedness. I definitely found myself talking and engaging with them. And it was really helpful because like a lot of people were applying to university at the time. And so I sort of got like an inside scoop to like that whole stress level. And now that I'm applying, everything is coming out like a lot more smoother. There's a lot of senior connections that I made, and they're in first year now. And it's sort of helped by the time applications have rolled out and I have somebody to talk to and lean on in case I don't want to email the admissions office of whatever university. So it's been really helpful. Do you guys think you are going to pursue music at all into post-secondary or university or whatever you decide to do after high school?
I think it's like if we do, it's definitely gonna be like a really tough one, because we started at like such a compared to other people, we started at such like a late time where there's gonna be other people who started since they were like a child. So it'll definitely be like a really tough road, but as it is, I think it's just gonna be like a fun thing to like create memories. It's been like such a huge part of my life now, but I just don't think it's something that I can pursue constantly and like constantly practice and commit to.
So you're scared of the child prodigies like showing you up for like an audition piece sort of thing?
Hell yeah, dude! When you're Asian, you just grow up being compared to other childs.
It's also like it's super because I like a lot of band videos on like Instagram and stuff. So my explore page is like full of like band and guitar content, and just seeing people be like really, really good, like it's super inspiring. But it's also like, wow, am I ever gonna reach that level of like talent? Like it's super, super.
Right? Yeah, like there's like a few trumpets that like were with us. You obviously know them, but like they were so good when I joined last year that like, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to live up to the standard.
It's like intimidating, right?
Yeah, but it's also been like kind of comforting because I know that they've given me like the room and time to like learn and improve, so that when it's time for me to like take the lead, that I can do what they do eventually.
Hopefully. I won't be there by the time that happens, but I'm optimistic. What about you, Will?
Yeah, no, I know Hubert's gonna take that trumpet
Exactly.
up to the standards for sure. For me, I don't know. I think I would more pursue music as like a hobby in post-secondary, like university or throughout my job. Like I'd just kind of use it as like a fun thing. Like if I go to university with someone else in this band, like maybe, I can I'll bring up my guitar. I play guitar as you do.
Wow. When he plays multiple instruments. Okay.
Trumpet, French horn, and guitar. So
that's like a good like social media bio to have, like multi-instrumentalist.
yeah, add it in my bio, right?
Were you thinking of maybe like a marching band ensemble or something that's I guess a smaller size, or do you want to continue the concert band route?
As a what I would do is probably just like kind of play in my free time. Nothing too serious, just have some fun every once in a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd probably go into like some science-y thing in post-secondary. I feel like a lot of the band kids are all like super smart. I don't know. Like you with like your super high average.
Oh my God, no, not the podcast turning into this.
Your awards.
The like these prestigious universities.
Yeah, of course. I think I don't know. I feel like band actually does help like academically.
It does.
Whenever I finish practicing, like I'm super focused. Obviously not like late at night or anything. Like I just go to bed. But in general, I feel like keeping up an instrument and like playing music. Um, I'm sure there's some like academic studies linking it to like brain development or just like brain processing. I find that I'm able to enjoy it a lot more when I come back to both bands and my academics, whatever I'm working on or whatever projects I'm working on at the moment. I come back super focused. What's another word for focused? But basically, yeah, like I'm really engaged in the work, and I find that band helps to also like alleviate a lot of stress. And just with the way the brain works, I guess it's helped me do better in school. That's what I find.
Another thing is, I think when universities take averages, right? Band marks, like Mr. Fala gives high band marks, and you can use those. Like,
Insert the take band because you'll get a high mark.
look at a high mark. It just helps for universities. You get volunteer hours. You get 20 each year, I think, right? And you can get like a high 90 mark. It helps a lot with getting accepted into universities too.
I think it's also like a good break from like the rest of the courses, because even if you are like into science and everything, it's bound to be stressful, because you always have all these like exams and you always have to study and like do good. And stuff like band is really just like a good break, you can just play, have fun.
Yeah, it never feels like it never feels like I'm procrastinating. Like if I have to study for a test and like I'm on social media or just like scrolling through YouTube, I always feel like I go back from it afterwards and I'm just like, oh wow, I really didn't do anything. But if I'm procrastinating in the way that like I pick up an instrument and start playing, not only am I like more relaxed after, I don't feel like I've been wasting my time. It comes off as it's like super productive. And I enjoy it as a nice sort of like passerby if I'm trying to put off some studies for a while. When I come back to those studies, I always find that I'm more focused and engaged. I really appreciate that. But thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, we can talk another episode. Is there anything that you want to plug shamelessly before we leave? Any social media?
Join concert band.
Join concert band.
And
Not jazz.
Not jazz. What's wrong with jazz?
Jazz is great.
I thought
Honestly,
we love jazz.
Also, I'm about to mention this earlier. I guess it doesn't matter because the podcast is over. Oh,
Well, no, mention it now. You're just leaving us on a cliffhanger.
It's just like jazz was also like such a great memory just because of how laid back it was. There were times when Paula literally left the room and we would always just like chill. Like, of course, it's not very.
So you're exposing us for not practicing during the break periods. Okay, great. Thank you for including that.
It's just really relaxing. But yeah.
a lot more relaxed than concert band from my initial stage at it.
You were more relaxed in concert band?
No, I think jazz is a more relaxed kind of band. I don't know. Just in terms, I think there's a couple there's less people for sure, and it's more of like I don't know. You can kind of just chill, be yourself, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I find for smaller ensembles, it's a lot easier to not only like engage with other people, but there's not as much pressure as to like perform, I guess, for other people when we're practicing, or just like you're less conscious about all the eyes that are in the room, and like you can just focus on playing. And I've always preferred smaller ensembles, but I think both groups are really good cultures, and like Will and Hubert said, I think you should join. But that's their plug. No social media. Probably like Will Henderson and Hubert Wu. But thank you guys for listening, and I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
A big thank you to everybody for listening. If you like this podcast, please give us a follow on our Instagram at MCI Music, as well as our YouTube channel and Spotify account. Keep on marching to your own beat, and onward, Malvern.